So I just finished playing an early access copy of WWE 2K22, and let's talk about it. What's going on, guys? It's Mastodon here, and before we get into anything, I want to first make sure to send a thank you to 2K. Through the Next Maker program, I was able to get my hands on an early hands-on edition copy of 2K22. It wasn't a full copy of the game. I wasn't able to do Creation Suite. I wasn't able to dive into Universe mode, but I did get a really good chance to get a look at my GM, as well as be able to play through a lot of the match types in Play Now or Exhibition mode. So let's talk about what I just went through, because it was a very eventful couple of hours. So when you start up in my GM, it walks you through how to select a general manager, walks you how to select a show, and then after that you can either choose to go with the default roster that's on that show, or like a default roster, but who's going to do that? Or you can run a draft. And then after you run the draft, you're good to go with starting up GM mode. After you draft, though, one thing that you can do is you can also sign legends if you wanted to like up the popularity of your show, or even sign enhancement talent if you wanted to, make sure that your superstars had adequate people to be able to build up their popularity and build up their momentum inside of the show that you're managing. When selecting a show in my GM mode, you can choose either Raw, SmackDown, NXT, or NXT UK. And inside of that, each show has 3 matches during the weekly events, 4 during the premium live events. And I believe during the majors, it's 5. I believe if you get to like WrestleMania, then it's like 5 matches that you can book. And within that, you get 2 championship divisions, one for the men and one for the women. And it was asked on a Zoom call with the devs of 2K22 about whether or not you can change the titles around. And they confirmed that you cannot. The show that you choose has locked championships. For your men, they will go after the brand men's championship. And if for the women, they will go after the brand women's championship. Now, booking matches is exactly how you would think it would work inside of GM mode. Basically, you slot people to be in a match. You can either choose from what it looked like in the early hands-on. I don't know if there would be additional match types or game modes that'll be added on inside of my GM when the full release comes out. But in the version that I got, it looks like you can only book either singles matches or tag team matches. And then, of course, promos inside of each week as well. You had 3 matches, and that is locked. Once again, you can only have 3 on like your weekly shows, and then you can either, and this is where the fun comes in. You can either just like simulate the matches, like you can just burn through your my GM run through, or you can like spectate your matches. You can even run in on the matches as a GM. Now that's fun because if you trigger a run in like with just like a superstar, you can't watch the match, you simulate it. But if you trigger a run in when as the GM, you actually go to ringside and do what you can to cost the other person, the person that you're running in against, to lose the match. And it could make for some very interesting stuff. One of the best parts about spectating a match, though, is being able to change the camera angle around. Being able to jump in the shoes of Kevin Dunn, if you might, and do as many jumpy camera cuts as you want, or try to find different ways to give your match a different look and try to see what your art direction of your show would look like. And that's a really nice and welcome twist. A nice addition that they added onto my GM is being able to like switch the camera on the fly when you think that it can highlight like a really cool moment. Now, I do have to say, this was confirmed on the call with the devs about multiplayer with my GM, is that it is only online multiplayer if you have the game on PC, and that is through Steam Remote. According to a conversation with the devs from Lionel Jinx himself, he said that that PlayStation and the Xbox will not have the ability to run online co-op. It can only be couch co-op for my GM mode. So if you're looking to try to play with your friends across the country, across the world, keep that in mind, that if you are on a PC, you can do it through Steam Remote Play. and that's it. If you would like to be on the PlayStation or the Xbox and run co-op GM mode with your friends, unfortunately, it looks like that's not going to be a part of the game this year. With that said, I spent of my few hours that I got to get my hands on the game, I spent a quick amount of time with my GM mode because I really wanted to see what the game as a whole was like. So I spent a lot of time on the Play Now running matches in exhibition, and oh man, let's dive into exhibition. First of all, everybody and their mom is going to say this. Play the damn tutorial. And I say that because like the controls are different and it takes a little bit of getting used to, but I don't mean that they're different and necessarily in a bad way. After playing the tutorial, first of all, no spoilers about it, but there's some really good dialogue in there as well. It gives you a good idea of how to handle the new attack of the new grapple system and the new reverse system. Because as you guys know by this point, there are no stock reversals, and you need to learn how to do the blockers and the counters and counter grapples and all of that. So do the tutorial. It will take you 10 minutes and it will make the game as a whole much easier. Now, gameplay. My goodness. From the opening jump, when you start a first match, it does not look at all like any of the past titles. It looks clean, and visually speaking, this game is striking. It looks like at times like it's like a replication of TV, both in entrance cutscenes and in match. I know a lot of people had problems with the camera, especially compared to 2K19, 2K20, 2K, all the way back to, I think the last time the camera changed was 13. But I will say this from my experience. I wanted to make sure that I ran singles matches, multi-man matches, tag matches, 8-man matches if possible, just to try to see how the camera looked with so many different people in the ring. And it feels like you're watching it on TV and you're controlling what happens on TV in like the best way. The camera, it doesn't just stay at a fixed position anymore where it's zoomed out at a distance. It pans and zooms both sideways, but it also goes up and down and pans around the turnbuckles as well. So like when you move to the outside, the camera follows you around. It doesn't just have like a hard slide. It follows and turns so that it keeps you within a good view of what's happening. It's a really, really cool, a really awesome look. I know that people think that it's too close in the ring. I can tell you that it makes it feel more intimate. And to me personally, this is of course my opinion, to me personally, I dig how the new camera and the new visuals look. The visuals look good. This is visually probably the best looking game that we've ever had. With the time that I had, I made sure that not only did I do me versus CPU matches, but I also observed a few CPU versus CPU matches, because I know that there's a number of people out there who enjoy the computer versus computer content with the 2K games. And I ran tag matches because we know that there have been tag match problems in the past with AI. I ran multi-man ladder matches, and I also ran a couple cage matches and a couple battle royals as well. And I gotta tell you guys, the AI feels a lot better in this game. Those ladder matches, like the ladder match feels like a callback to the SmackDown versus Raw game. So like if you like your ladder matches to be chaotic and frenetic and that ladder to go everywhere, you're going to enjoy how ladder matches work in 22. Because like I ran a Money in the Bank match, 8-person Money in the Bank match, and that match was, while those matches like in 2K19 and 2K20 are over in 5, 7, 10 minutes, it went for a while and it was a pretty good match too. One thing to note, they also cut the animation freeze when somebody grabs the briefcase or the object hanging above the ring. When everybody freezes and stops in their place in previous 2K titles, that wasn't there. The superstars kept fighting, even though like the briefcase was being ripped down. It was a really nice change. because in years past it would always just like break. It would always just break. You just see the ladder was the thing was being grabbed, and you're like, the match is done. But no, the action kept going until the person brought down the briefcase. And battle royals and Royal Rumbles as well. It's not so easy to get eliminations. The AI at least is much better at avoiding getting quickly eliminated. So if you are in a Royal Rumble and you happen to draw number 30, you may not be the one that wins. It could be somewhere as early as 13. I also made it a point to watch as many of the entrances as I could. I wanted to see how they looked in real time and not just the ones that they picked. I chose people that I knew in the game were champions, so I can try to see how their entrances look with championships, because we didn't see any championship entrances in any of the trailers. And like I gotta tell you, a lot of them look really good. I made to pay close attention to clipping issues. I made to pay close attention to like how hair and to clothes worked, and like generally speaking, if a person was holding a championship, I didn't see like any sort of visual like crap that we're used to seeing. I am very curious though, because those are in-game models, and that's like in-game models with the championships who had them when they started the game. So like I am very curious. I didn't get a chance to see the creation suite, so I didn't get to make any alt attires. I didn't get to make any CAWs, and to see how the championships look on them, because obviously things are going to change if you have like a different person with a different attire. But like based off of what I've seen, I had no complaints. At the end of the day, like I came into this playtest with the lowest of expectations. Like I was burned, like a lot of you out there, by 2K20, and the last thing I wanted was for the next title to be 2K20 2. And I gotta tell you, by like everything that I've seen, I'm blown away. Like the visuals look great. The playthrough, the gameplay is fluid. The matches just flow and they fly. I found myself wanting to play more. I found myself having fun with the game for the first time, and for anybody who has seen me on my live streams on Twitch, know that I have been and will continue to be one of the biggest and loudest critics about the WWE 2K series. Oh, of course, when it comes to creation, one thing that was asked about once again on that Zoom call with all of the dev team for WWE 2K22 was about the CAW slots, and it does look like that 100 CAW slot is both for old gens, the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4, as well as the current gen consoles. And it looks like the logo limit is back, unfortunately. That's a thing that that I've got to make sure that we mention. So those logos are going to burn quick when it comes to custom superstars and attires and championships and venues, and now the vectors as well. So that is a thing to keep in mind. So like as a whole though, of the whole playthrough on the early hands-on that I got, I'm really impressed with what we see, and it's looking like we could have ourselves a really good game in our hands. Hopefully. Of course, that's all we can do at this point is hope. And yeah, what are you looking forward to most about 2K22? Let me know in the comments below. And remember, once again, to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel if you so choose. Also, make sure to hit us up on Twitch. We go live 5 days a week on twitch.tv. Everything it's at Mastodon. You can see my links in the bio down below. Thanks for watching the video, and I hope you have yourself a great day.